Why do we feel unhappy despite a safe and semi-predictable life relative to the generations before us? In a short-term time frame, if you think about it, shouldn't we be glad that every day is the same? I mean, it is physically safer. So why do we have to feel bored when every day is the same? And how can we find happiness in a predictable, boring life? Let's start the video. It's beginning to get dark outside. You lay on your couch after you just doom scrolled for an hour. It just feels stagnant. There's not much financial stress, nothing you have to do. You stare at the wall and decide to pick up your phone and go to bed soon. But why do we feel unhappy in stagnation? Why not be happy that there's no unpredictability, danger, etc.? Well, have you ever gotten something you really wanted and then felt nothing? Maybe you got a present you've been asking for, or that new iPhone that dug a hole in your wallet, or maybe a new really good meal that you ate a lot and now you hate. Why do we adapt to things so fast? And does this mean we will always feel stagnation or a lack of direction if we aren't constantly doing something new? Personally, I would have to say that this is mostly true. Like, if I'm imagining a life where it's normal but I don't adapt to anything, like everything always feels new and novel, there's very little scenarios where I'm not gonna be happy. Like, okay, here's a side story. When I first started I used to have a previous YouTube channel, and when I first started it, all I wanted was 100 subscribers. Now I have 10,000 subscribers, and it literally feels like nothing. No emotion attached to what I used to think was unimaginable. Like, bro, if I somehow lost the ability to adapt to new highs, I would be chilling. I probably wouldn't have motivation to create this channel, so that would probably be problematic. But if you have a stable and predictable life, like not long term, but in a short term environment, where short term, like in the span of like a few years, you being able to adapt to things is why life could feel empty. Like, you could have so much energy that's not going anywhere. Like, so much problem solving skills that you're not using it on. And I'm not saying it's inherently bad to adapt to things in general, but it's just interesting how oftentimes you'll have to add unpredictability to your life intentionally, whereas most of the generations before us rarely had this problem. If you imagine a person living in a tribe way before a society, if nothing unpredictable or new happens, it probably means you're not helping the tribe and you're just sitting on your ass like a bum. So we understand why comfort might be negative, but what are ways you could actually deliberately add that unpredictability? How do you add the risk and the stories that make life interesting? Now, this is very subjective, so I'll list a few things, but you might have to get your creative juices flowing. Number 1, kind of different to the topic, but don't use your phone first thing in the morning. What this does is it drains your energy, and in return it scrambles your thoughts. Maybe you can use it later, but try to hold off from the morning and before bed. Number 2, identify non-important parts of your day and think of ways to make them unique. Add experiences you never had before. Maybe eat at a new restaurant, hang out at a new spot, listen to new music, buy new foods at the store. Okay, sorry, I'm hungry. You get the point. Number 3, change up your room. Now, this is kind of temporary because you always adapt, but this is an easy way to add novelty to your environment and really see how the novelty works in your brain. Number 4, identify purchases that quickly lose emotion. For example, if you're thinking of buying a new iPhone for like $1,000 or however much it costs, but it's only 10% better, it might not even make a difference in your life. Now, you might want to have a cost-benefit analysis of experiences versus long-term purchases, because maybe that item actually will have a net positive impact in your life compared to the experience. But do a cost-benefit analysis of the alternative experiences you could buy occasionally. Okay, well, actually, actual side conversation here, but this is important. Wait at least a week before purchasing something big. Dude, there are so many times I was about to buy something, I waited a week, then I looked at it and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't buy this for that much money. And don't even tell yourself that you're not going to buy it. Just tell yourself that you're going to buy it in a week if you still want it, and weigh it against alternative things you could buy. Oh, and there will be times where you click purchase. A week later, you get the item and you're just sitting there, staring in regret, wondering why you went through on this. Anyways, moving on. Try this thought experiment for a second. Close your eyes and try to imagine your life as a story. Maybe open your eyes and look at the structure I'm showing in the video. But think about ways your life could be structured into a movie or so. Now you can add some fictionality, it doesn't really matter. Pause the video if you need. Now here's a question that's likely worth thinking about. How proportional are good stories to a better or more interesting life? How much does it matter to you to have good stories to think about or tell others when you're older? Now there is a known concept I could find called narrative identity. It's essentially the thought process of how people view events in their life in general as a story. So imagine an unpredictable situation for a second, like maybe hiking up a mountain or skydiving. If you have the choice to have an adventure with uncertainty, risks, and problems, but it will produce an amazing story, will you decide to continue? This isn't really an answer or problem that I'm solving in this part of the video, but I do find it interesting when you look at life through a story perspective deliberately. Anyways, that's it. I'm going to read all the comments on this video, so let me know what video I should make next, and how I can improve, and how also, if you notice anything that I can improve in this video, you have to tell me in the comments. I need as much feedback as possible. Bye.